Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Dear devotees, after a long time, I think 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, we are having the class. If you remember last class or last but one class, the Yama discussed about a being using the chariot allegory. Chariot was compared to body, our own physical body, or our physical body was compared to chariot. The horses was compared to sense organs. The reins through which we control the horses is nothing but mind. And the driver, charioteer, is our intellect. And the owner of the chariot is what? The self or the jivatma. So what was the intention of Yama's mentioning this chariot allegory? It is nothing but panchakosha viveka. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, we all study panchakosha viveka, discrimination between the 5 sheets, which we are discussing in the Thursday in our Ramakrishna Vedanta Center, Dublin now. So that has been put in a figurative way by using this chariot allegory. So by mentioning this, by describing this, Yama is asking the spiritual aspirant, keeping the Nachiketa, through Nachiketa, he is asking the aspirant to detach himself or to remove the attachment from the body-mind complex. I have a mobile, but I am not the mobile. When we say, people do understand, we understand, and it is easy for us to probably practice. I have a house, or you own a house, but you are not the house. Yes, we understand it. Right, we might have some attachment to our own house, but we can understand, and I am separate from the house. So anything external objects, there may be attachment, but I am that object. We don't have that hallucination or wrong understanding. But when it comes to our body-mind complex, I have a body, we say in the communication, while using language, we use I have a body, but we behave as if I am the body. So one is attachment to body and mind. Apart from that, the individual self, the Jivatma, is thinking as if I am the body, I am the mind, etc. That is the reason we suffer. When we take a human birth or animals, some pains will be there. Every living being has to undergo some pain, but suffering is a choice. When we get attached to our body and mind, the pain increases because of suffering. So we have to detach ourselves. Physical separation, we are not speaking here, cognitive separation. I have a body, I have a mind. Means body and mind is instrument and I am aware of it. Just like I use mobile to do the transactions, to talk with people, to communicate with people. Or I use a 4-wheelers or 2-wheelers for traveling from one place to another. So the Jivatma is using the body and mind as an instrument to experience his papa and punya and to go further, to go forward in his journey. To make this clear and to detach oneself from the body and mind cognitively and to correct the wrong understanding that I have a body, but I am not the body and mind. So this Panchakosha Viveka has been introduced by the Upanishads, Taittiriya Upanishad basically, mainly. And the same idea has been told in a figurative way in the by the Yama. Then last class, we did mention that Yesha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Gudo Atmana Prakashate. So in everyone, this Atman, which is hidden inside, it doesn't, is not evident. It doesn't shine, he says. But Atman is self-evident. Atman is always, there is no need of electricity. There is no need of external charge. It is self-luminous. But in some people, it is not evident. It does not, it is not luminous there. Again, it is a figurative usage. What does it mean? Means the ignorant people are unable to understand, unable to comprehend that I am the self, not the body and mind. So to make us understand, again, it has been used this particular usage. And who can understand? After discussing the Panchakosha Viveka, the Prakriya, the methodology, well, I know that I am not the body and mind, still I am unable to understand. Or even if I understand, I am unable to practice. I am unable to hold on to these Vedantic classes, Vedantic teachings. Why? Drishyate tvagraya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. So for that, you need a particular state of mind. Many people do ask, Swamiji, when we study Vedanta, when we hear your Vedantic classes, everything looks perfect. Yes, I am the self, not the body and mind. I should not bother. I should not get perturbed. All these things. But after the class, after some time, again the Vedanta will take its back door or back step, and again the problem starts. This is a problem for us. Many people do express that. Why? Because buddhi is not sukshmaya. It has not become subtle. It is in still gross level. Then tvagraya buddhya, single pointedness. Just like now in whole India is been getting scorched with the sunlight. But you throw a piece of paper, nothing happens. But you bring a lens, say a convex lens, then what happens? If you are using the convex lens on the paper, after some time, it catches the fire and it burns. Earlier it was not so, now it is burning. What happened? So the sun rays were diverted, distracted, and because of the convex lens, it got converged and it became all the sun rays, whatever the circumference which it was holding the lens, all the sun rays got converged, it went to single point. As a result, the energy or the heat got increased. So the paper caught fire. So because of diverted mind, distracted mind, we are unable to hold on to this Vedantic teaching. So we should have a single pointed mind, single pointedness we also required. Agraya means one pointed mind, sharp mind. Then sukshmaya, it should be subtle. Then sukshmadarshibhi, for such people, they can understand these things, they can hold on to it, and they can comprehend the self. So mind has to be pure, mind has to be concentrated, and mind has to be subtle. That is what called prepared mind, trained mind, or yogic mind. When the trained mind is there, such a person can comprehend the Vedanta. Now for us, understanding calculus, analytical geometry itself is very difficult. But the advanced mathematicians, they will be playing with the numbers. Here we have one devotee who is a scientist. He is 80 plus, but still he plays with numbers even now. Why? His mind has been sharpened, his mind has been trained in that particular way of thinking, that is mathematics, advanced mathematics. For them, it is never boring. Rather, hours together, they can discuss on that, which goes above the head. If we attend their classes or their seminars, probably it goes above the head and we start snoring. We may get good rest. Why? Because we will not be able to comprehend, if not all, many of us. Because our mind is not being trained. So we have to do the training the mind is very, very important. My Gurudev used to say, train the mind and mind the train. Otherwise, there will be an accident. So, now, yacchedvāṅmanasī prājñaḥ ātmani jñānamātmani mahati niśitā ātmani. The discriminative one should resolve the speech into mind. He should resolve that mind into intellect, and intellect into Mahat are unmanifested, and the unmanifested into Atman. So it is a Vedantic meditation, or rather, it is a process, sadhana. It is a Vedantic practice has been given by Lord Yama. So once you understand with the Panchakosha Viveka that I am not the body and mind, I am the self. So you understood, and if you train your mind, you can comprehend the truth. Then what is the way out? If you ask, so he is telling here, it is very, very, you have to practice step by step so that you'll be able to comprehend the self. Now, how to understand this? So here, if you see earlier, in some of the scriptures, there has been told, through the mind, you yen manasana manute, yenahur manomatam. In the Kena Upanishad, it is told, through the mind, you cannot attain. But here it is told, through the mind, you have to attain or you should attain. So is it contradictory? So Kena Upanishad is contradicting Katha Upanishad, that means? No. Shankaracharya, in one of his commentary, he beautifully clears this doubt. One whose mind is untrained, one whose mind is calm, one whose mind is not pure, such a person whose mind is untrained, impure, and not concentrated, such a person's mind cannot comprehend the self. So, yen manasana manute, through the mind you cannot attain means what? Through the impure mind you cannot attain. But here, if they are saying that through mind alone you can attain, means what? It is through pure mind. So mind has to be purified. All our sadhana is what? Purifying the mind. Once the mind is purified, then the realization at spur of moment, it happens. So here, Lord Yama is emphasizing the meditation or nididhyasana. Why this nididhyasana is required? Sukshma, the subtle mind is required, they said, and concentrated mind is required. If who doesn't have, they can practice this nididhyasana. So before that, actually they say, in the meditation there are two types, Saguna Ishvara Dhyana, Nirguna Ishvara Dhyana. That is God with form, with attributes and all. That is the devotional meditation. Then the Vedantic meditation is what? It is a consciousness, it is awareness. Nirguna Ishvara Dhyana. So both can be practiced as per our wish, as per our interest, and as per our capacity. By doing upasana, by doing meditation, what happens actually? The mind gets stabilized, and the mind gets activated, or the mind gets power to comprehend the truth and to assimilate the truth. Many times we understand, we know what is Vedanta. If not all, some of you or many of you are hearing Vedantic talks from long time. Vedantic scriptures. Some people, if you ask Vivek Chudamani, they know. Bhajagovindam, if you ask, they know. Gita, yes. Upanishad says. Brahma Sutra, yes. But they are not able to put into practice. So they are Vidwan Samsaris. Scripture says, commentators say, Vidwan Samsaris. Means ignorant scholars. Why? They know, they are scholars, they know, they know the Upanishads, what they are teaching, they know Ved Chudam, all the Vedantic knowledge they know, but they are unable to assimilate. That is because of the lack of assimilation of the ideas. To assimilation of this Vedantic teachings, so the scriptures say that you have to practice meditation, upasana. If you have done enough upasana, then little nididhyasana is enough. And if you have not done upasana, then nididhyasana is more and more required. Until otherwise we do nididhyasana, the assimilation of Vedanta ideas is not possible. So meditation is the key for the realization, God realization or self-realization, according to even Swami Vivekananda. So based on these ideas only, the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita has been unfolded. So 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita's teachings are based on the Katha Upanishad actually. All right, here they are using Lord is using the word prājñaha. Prājñaha means one who has done enough shravanam. He has heard enough Vedantic teachings, but he has not assimilated the Vedantic teachings. He's a gnani, but he's not the gnana-nishtha. Means he knows, he is very well. If you ask anything without any mistake, without any error, he expresses the Vedantic teachings, but he is not able, he is not assimilated the ideas. For such person, what should he do? So they say that first you go and sit in a calm place. As Sri Ramakrishna tells, once in a while we should go to solitude, nirjanavasa, ekanta. It may not be going to forest alone is not, that doesn't mean that one has to observe the silence, one has to go to solitude. Maybe in the house itself, we may have separate rooms. Separate room. So there I'm spending time with myself, keeping our mobile into either switch off or silent mode and asking people not to disturb for some time, not hearing and trying to avoid external sound and try to sit and observe silence. Hey, keep quiet. Be silent means it is someone is asking you to be silent. It is forceful. When you say observe silence means what? You are trying to stop all your sensory activities like seeing, listening, touching. All the sensory activities are there. That should be stopped at the most. That's what has been told here. First and foremost, the sensory activities should be stopped. All right. Then I'm not seeing anything, I'm not hearing anything, I'm not touching anything, I am not tasting anything, I am not smelling anything. So all the 5 sense organs of knowledge has been stopped, has been controlled. All right. Then what happens? If you go to the forest, if you go to the calm place, quiet place, for some time we all enjoy. Afterwards, what happens? It will be terrible noise will be there. Terrible noise of our mind. That is the reason many people fear the solitude, silence. Why? Now, because when there's external silence, the internal shouting, the internal turbulence of the mind will be heard. For few people, it is very difficult to face it. So then what should we do? We should try to calm down the mind, calm the emotions, calm the thoughts. How it is possible? They are saying that from manomaya kosha, one should go to vijnanamaya kosha. Means mind is turbulent. So many thoughts are coming and going. So many emotions are coming and going. Feelings are coming and going. So what should we do? We should take the road. We should start thinking, I am the body and mind, not the self. Since I am not the body and mind, I am the self. So let me take the role of witness and let me not get carried over. The moment I don't attach with the thoughts, attach with the feelings or emotions, then they slowly subside. They slowly become calm. So that's what from manomaya kosha to vijnanamaya kosha. That is, I am aware of the mental disturbance, but I am not getting attached with it. So keeping myself aloof and I am observing. All right. Then the next step according to the yama here is what? The intellect which I am perceiving, my individual intellect is part of the cosmic intellect, which is nothing but Hiranyagarbha. My intellect, my intelligence is part of the cosmic intelligence. That is the second step of meditation. Then this, like you can understand, Karnataka is the part of India. Like West Bengal is the part of India. Tamil Nadu is part of India. India is part of Asia, for an example. So like that, my individual intelligence is part of the cosmic intelligence. Then even that whatever the so-called awareness is there, the individual awareness is nothing but it is part of the self consciousness, ātmani. So that even that intellect, the cosmic intellect should be merged in the self or in the ātmani or in the Brahman. So this is the step-by-step process has been given by the yama. So first we should sit in a calm place and we should stop our sensory activities. Then the second is observe your mind, observe the thoughts, observe the feelings and observe the emotions which is rising in the mind, but don't get carried over. Then once that is established, understand that the awareness, the so-called awareness which we are speaking, which is reflected consciousness, that is called buddhi. The buddhi is nothing but part of cosmic intelligence. And again, that cosmic intelligence also should be merged in the self. I am just bare awareness or pure awareness. This is the step-by-step Vedantic meditation. Our inward dissolution has been given by Lord Yama. People can try to practice. The next shloka is very often quoted shloka and very dear shloka for all of us. Uttiṣṭhata, jāgrata, prāpya, varānnibodhata, kṣurasya dhārā, niśitā duratyayā, durgaṃ pathastatkavayo vadanti. Arise, awake, approach the great teachers and realize the self. The wise declare that the path is as difficult to tread as the sharp edge of a razor. Swami Vivekananda's great statement, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached, is nothing but it is the translation of this particular, the first line of this mantra, uttiṣṭhata, jāgrata, prāpya, varānnibodhata. So Swami Vivekananda has beautifully translated this one line, and it has become very famous statement among the people. Now, so this is a beautiful comprehensive mantra which describes different types of spiritual sadhanas, a range of spiritual sadhanas. Arise, awake, approach the great teachers and realize the self. Where is there? Okay, you approach the teacher and get the teachings and realize the self. That's all they have told. Where there is a wide range of sadhana, if you get a question, if you think deeply, if you read in between lines, then you will understand. So here the journey goes like this. The first stage of our spiritual journey is what? Being moral and ethical. That is nothing but practicing yama and niyama, or shama and dama. Then the second stage is practicing the karma yoga. So by practicing the karma yoga, what happens? I will understand the problem of samsara, that is ignorance. I am suffering. Why am I suffering? Oh, because of my wife. Oh, because of my husband. Because of the weather. Because of my children. Or because of my boss. Because of lack of money. Or because of lack of power. We keep on thinking like that, and we keep on struggling and to achieve them. But if you practice karma yoga, your mind gets purified. This is from Advaitic point of view, I'm telling. Now keep that in the mind. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. In the Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankaracharya says, by doing karma yoga, your mind gets purified. When you say your mind is getting purified, what do you get it? First and foremost, you will understand the problem of samsara, problem of suffering, problem of ignorance. Why am I suffering? What is the reason? That is ajnana. That also helps to, the purity of the mind will help to develop the detachment from the world and worldly pursuits. You need not to leave the samsara. You need not to renounce your home and earth, but you can be detached. Nirliptata bhavana, the detachment will be able to gradually grow. That is, and Swami Vivekananda tells in a different way, self-abnegation. That individual ego will be merged in cosmic ego, or instead of I, he will start telling we. Then one more practical thing will happen by karma yoga is our inferiority and superiority complex will reduce because of the purity of the mind. Then the next stage will be bhakti yoga and upasana, bhakti yoga or upasana. By doing upasana, meditation, what happens? Our emotional stability gets achieved. Most of our problems are emotional instability. We think so much, there is so much problem, and sometimes we spiritual aspirants, we spiritualize it, and we think we have got a lot of spiritual problems and all. But for most of us, spiritual problem has not started at all. It is all emotional problems, or interpersonal relationship problems, or problem with the ego, that's all. And emotional stability is achieved, concentration, one-pointedness, and assimilation of ideas, all these things possible. Then the next step will be Jnana Yoga. That is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So constant studying and hearing, reflections, and meditation. So through this, one can attain the self, or one can experience the God or self-realization. Now that all these things has been told in a very pithy form, or in a capsule form in this particular mantra already. Uttiṣṭhata, jāgrata, prāpya, varānnibodhata. Uttiṣṭhata, arise, and jāgrata, awake. Why these things, two things are told? What does it mean? Arise means you get out from inertia or lethargy. I am so lethargical. A person is so lethargical, such a person cannot forget about spiritual life. Even in the mundane life also, he cannot achieve much progress. So first, that arise is what? Come out from tamas actual. Then awake. Well, a person may be hyperactive or active or hyperactive. He is always working, he is active and all, but he is worldly minded. He doesn't mind to sit and do business for hours together. But if you ask him to attend half an hour Vedanti class, he will feel it is boredom, or he may feel sleepy, or he may feel difficulty. And the best way of telling is, sorry, I don't have time. So he is not tamasic, he is rajasic, but not sattvic. So his interest is there in the worldly pursuits. He is busy in that, he is getting it, and in his own way is enjoying and experiencing suffering or good, bad, everything. But he might not be interested in spirituality or in self-realization. So jāgrata means what? Awakening is what? Being more and more sattvic. Taking the spiritual journey, self-journey, that is understanding who am I. That is what called jāgrata. Then prāpya varānnibodhata. I have become sattvic, but what should I do? What should I achieve? What should I experience? What is the final word? What is the final goal should be? All these questions might come. For that, scriptures are the best roadmaps. But when we read scriptures, many times instead of understanding, we might land in misunderstanding. So it is a better way. It is better to go and approach the leaders or the teachers who are already established in this path. So prāpya varānnibodhata. Varān means here gurus. The acharyas are gurus. Prāpya varānnibodhata. So having approached the teachers, nibodhata. I think Shardamat, our the nunnery or the sister organization which is meant for the nuns. So they have got a magazine, I think it is called nibodhata. Nibodhata means experience it or realize it. Realize what? Realize the self. I am that self. All right. And how this path will be? Oh, it is like a national highway. Easily we can go. Or is it with full of pit holes? Or it is a mud road? Or it is a forest path? Or it is a what type of path? Kavayo vadanti. The kavi means many in the Indian languages they are called poet. Poet here, but in Sanskrit kavi means wise man, the person who has understood the path and who has experienced the path. Such a person is called kavi. Kavayo vadanti. Wise people say. What do they say? How do they explain the self-realization? They say it is like walking on the razor's edge. Kṣurasya dhārā. It is walking on the razor's edge. It is difficult. So scriptures are also telling very clearly the spiritual path is difficult. They are not saying that it is easy, but possible. Kṣurasya dhārā and niśitā duratyayā. And it is extremely difficult. It is walking on the razor's edge. And niśitā duratyayā means what? It is extremely difficult, but possible, and it is worth making an experiment. By hearing that it is difficult and it is walking on razor's edge, it should not put us into thinking better to avoid. No. So only the intention of wise people mentioning or yamas mentioning is what? We have to be careful. We have to prepare ourselves. Otherwise, what happens? We will not be progress in spiritual life. Sometimes we are practicing spiritual path nicely, spiritual sadhanas. After some time, because of lack of awareness, lack of alertness, we may forget. I have seen quite a few people, senior people, in the name of meditation, unfortunately, they have made a habit of sleep. They sit for meditation for half an hour, 1 hour. They think they are meditating. In 5 or 10 minutes, they doze off. And every day they do that. Unfortunately, since they are not alert, in the name of meditation, they are sleeping. And some devotees, they come to satsangs and they think they are listening. In between, they take their rest. So like this, there are, if you're not alert, you may get carried over with some things and you may miss the track. So to make us understand, we should be vigilant, we should be alert, then only we can progress in the spiritual path fast. To make us understand, they have told this expression. And of course, the spiritual path is difficult, no doubt, but it is possible and it is worth trying. After explaining all that, why should we all, what is the intention of telling all these things? Oh, it is to experience the Brahman. And Brahman is not something which is in the heaven, which is in the Kailasa, which is in the Vaikunta, or in some other world, or it is been hidden in some cave. No, it is only myself, my own nature. When you say my own nature, then I may get confused with my body mind. So it is better to define what is that self, Brahman or Atman. So that has been told in the 15th verse. Let us try to understand. Aśabdam, asparśam, arūpamavyayaṃ, tathā'rasaṃ, nityamagandhavacca, anādyanantaṃ mahataḥ paraṃ dhruvaṃ, nicāyya tanmṛtyumukhāt pramucyate. So what is Brahman, what is self is been explained, and by experiencing it, what are you going to get? The phala, atmajnana phala, the results of self-realization also has been told here. This Brahman, which is myself, I am that Brahman. Sorry, all of you are also that Brahman. And what is the nature? What is my nature? It is my own biodata. This Brahman is soundless, touchless, colorless, all less, tasteless, smellless, beginningless, endless, decayless, deathless, changeless, and beyond mahataḥ. Having clearly known the Brahman, one is totally freed from the jaws of death. This is what very important verse. So this is one of the beautiful definition of the Brahman or of one's own real nature. So soundless, touchless, colorless, tasteless, smellless, all these things telling only the Upanishad is trying to make us understand that Brahman cannot be objectified. It is a subject. When we say you are that Brahman, my dear, when you say, oh, okay, where it will be? Oh, it is in you. Okay, how it will be? Because without name and without form, we cannot comprehend. So immediately mind, it starts imagining the Brahman's form. We say, oh my dear, it does not have any form. It does not have any color. It does not have any taste. It does not smell. It does not appear. No form. When you say, it may be like blankness, or it may be like a light patch. Something like that. We keep on thinking that because we objectify it. So to remove this problem, so Upanishads are telling that. And all our knowledge is possible only through these 5 ways. Any data, if you ask, it is only through 5 ways. Either through eye, or ear, or nose, tongue, or the skin. When you say all the 5 knowledge has been negated, means it is very well clearly understandable. Now let me explain one by one. Aśabdam. Aśabdam means it is soundless. Soundless, why? Sound is the property of space actually. The ears perceive the sound vibrations. So when you say self is aśabdam, that means it cannot be heard, it cannot be spoken, it cannot be captured by mantras, by any words. So it is the silence behind all sound, or rather it is beyond sound. Asparśam, it is a touchless. Now touch is the property of air. The skin perceives texture, temperature, and pressure, and whatever. So the self is asparśam means it has no physical surface. It is not it is no matter at all. So it is not a substance at all. It is no object at all. So no tangibility or no physical presence at all. So you cannot grasp it physically. Then arūpam. Arūpam means no form, no shape, no color. The shape and color is the part of Agni. The eyes perceive, the eyes instrument perceives the forms. When you say self is arūpam means it has no dimension, 3D, XYZ axis. No, it is beyond that. It is beyond of space limitation. In Taittiriya Upanishad, we have discussed this. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma while discussing. So it has no geometry or boundaries or appearance or whatever. So then arasam means it is tasteless. All right, probably Brahman, is it sweet or a pungent, bitter or a sour? If you ask, no, my dear, it is a tasteless. Oh, very poor Brahman then. Because the tongue only can perceive flavors. If it is arasam, means tongue cannot know this self. Why? Because it does not have any chemical properties. It is beyond pleasant and unpleasant sensory taste. It is neither sweet nor bitter nor sour or anything. Why? It is not object at all. Then agandhavata. It is scentless. The scent is the property of earth, Prithvi. And the nose is an instrument which perceives the smell. When you say it is agandhavata, means no chemical composition or material fragrance is not there. So basically, it is not an object. Then avyayam. All right, you might say better that it does not exist, you might say, or it is very momentary, we cannot comprehend, you might say. To remove such type of doubts, Yama is continuing to say, explain that the self is avyayam, imperishable, indestructible. Because in the world, anything if you see, we can break, we can change, and it gets into death or decay or whatever. When you say self is avyayam, means what? It is a singular and it is a partless whole. Since it is singular and partless whole, it cannot diminish, it cannot depleted, and it cannot go any structural changes. Then nityam. Nityam means what? Eternal. That means there is no time limitation. So there is no space limitation, there is no time limitation also. It was there, it is there, it will be there. It is eternal. Then anādi. Anādi means without beginning. And anantam, without and infinite. Now Maya is also anādi, but it is not anantam, it is santam. Maya is beginningless, but it has got an end. Now the self is anādi, beginningless, and anantam. It doesn't have any end. Na antam, and also it is infinite. Then mahataḥ paraṃ, and it is also higher than the cosmic self or a cosmic mind. And dhruvaṃ, it is changeless, means it is absolute, to make this understand. So this mantra, this particular verse can be taken for the meditation, Vedantic meditation. Who am I? I am that Brahman. What is my nature? So this every word we can keep on thinking and we can use for the Vedantic meditation. nicāyya tanmṛtyumukhāt pramucyate. By understanding this, by experiencing that Brahman, what happens? You will be free from the jaws of death. Oh, what are you doing? You are busy? Oh, Swamiji, we had some health issues, so we are doing Mahamrutyunjaya Abhisheka, Mahamrutyunjaya Mantra, Homa. Why? I want to get rid of disease. I want to get rid of fear of death. I may be like a millionaire, billionaire, but no one is free from the fear of death. No one is free from the Yama. We are all bound under Yama. But whereas the Gnani is not at all, he's free person, he doesn't care, because the death might come to body and mind. I am the self, so I am deathless, I am birthless, and I am decayless and whatnot. So if you want to be free from death, the only possible way is experiencing who am I, or removing the ignorance, in the other words. By becoming millionaire or billionaire, you cannot win over the death. By being a celebrity, you cannot be. Or having a lot of degrees, you cannot be. By becoming an intelligent person, you cannot win over the death. Or I will find out some solution by which you can probably live eternally. No, that is not possible. It might come, no, because it is against the universal law. Whoever has born, he has to die. The time might be increased. Instead of 100 years, 1000 years tomorrow, because of some solution, some liquid, because of some energy drink, we might live. But one has to die, one has to perish. So if you want to be free from the fear of death, if you want to be free from the cycle of birth and death, the only way is either God realization or self-realization. So that has been told very clearly, told by Yama to Nachiketa. If you want to be free from me, if you don't want to fear of me, then experience yourself, who am I? Then by that you will get free from the jaws of death. Now it is almost like ending the chapter. nāciketamupākhyānaṃ mṛtyuproktam sanātanam uktva śrutva ca medhavi brahmaloke mahiyate. Now Yama and Nachiketa looks like, just I'm telling jokingly, they are taking rest now. So the narrator, interluder has come into scene now. Hearing and repeating this eternal teaching, which was received by Nachiketa and imparted by Lord Yama, the discriminative one becomes glorified in Brahmaloka. So Nachiketa heard the Brahmajnana and Yama taught this Brahmajnana. So whoever understands this, he is been Brahmaloke mahiyate. He has been glorified in Brahmaloka. Now what does it mean? Brahmaloke mahiyate can be understood in two ways. One is Brahmaloke means, loka means he in the Brahman. Mahiyate means he gets established. The Yama, whatever he taught the Brahmajnana, the student, if he understands and put into practice and if he experiences what happens, he gets established in the Brahman. Means he is a Jivan Mukta. He is a free person while living. The other is Krama Mukti. He, after the death, he will go to Brahmaloka and there he will be worshipped or he will be praised, and at the end of the cycle of creation, he will get liberated. He will be get liberated. That is what Krama Mukti. So you can say Jivan Mukti or Krama Mukti, either of we can take. So, but we have to practice whatever has been told by Yama. Ya imam paramam guhyam shravayet brahma samsadi prayatash shraddhakaleva tadanatya kalpate tadanatyaya kalpata iti. If a person repeats with purity the supreme secret in the assembly of Brahmins or at the time of Shraddha, that gives infinite results. It certainly conduces infinite results. Means it is an end. So here the interluder is saying that even if you don't understand, with a pure mind, even if you chant this Katha Upanishad itself, it brings immense result. This is the phala of the Katha Upanishad Parayana. So there is a tradition. Upanishad Parayanas has been done by many sadhakas in many monasteries. And Shankara Bhashya Parayana they do. So the shloka is telling that if the seeker reads or chants this Katha Upanishad, that too in the assembly of Vedic Astika people. Brahmana means it is not only the person by birth, the people who have got a good mind, one who is interested in good things and all. Such people, assembly of such good people who has got physical purity and mental purity, even if you read Katha Upanishad in front of them, even by that you will get infinite results. Now here we have to take with a pinch of salt. By mere reading, by mere chanting without understanding, will I get infinite results. So by doing this slowly, the Upanishad mantras will have its own power, no doubt. Even without understanding, if you are chanting, after some time, you will get an interest, then you will read, you will understand, and that will help you to attain mukti. That is the intention, or that is what the interluder is trying to convey. But mere chanting also will help, no doubt. But with knowing meaning, if you chant, with understanding, if you chant, you will get more results or you will get better effect. So tadantyaya kalpata iti, it has been told 2 times. This is the style of Upanishad or Vedas. If they want to end the chapter, if they want to end the discussion, or if they want to take the new subject, new topic for discussion, then they will repeat the last time, saying that this discussion has been closed, this topic, this point has been closed. So thus ends the 3rd section of the 1st chapter. Then we will be seeing the 2nd chapter onwards. First chapter, 3rd section we finished, and 2nd chapter, 1st section will be starting in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishnarpanamastu. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer. All right, it looks like that there's no questions.
Maharaj, can
Thank
I
you.
ask a question which may not be strictly as per today's discussion, but it is something else? Can I ask? But yeah,
Go ahead.
see, this prapancha is the manifestation of Param Brahma. So before the creation, there was nothing. So Param Brahma thought that let me manifest into different name and form and etc. And then like this. Okay. Now my question is, what we say that I have to go beyond mind and this thing, mind and senses and etc. 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 So now, when Parabrahman thinks that I have to manifest in different forms, so he has a mind. This is my question. How does he think otherwise?
Sorry. So he had a mind. The Bhagavan had a mind. Yeah, he can have a mind. So what is the problem? But even if he has got a mind, but is not, what do you say, is not attached to any of them. So he doesn't have any problem, first and foremost. Secondly, it is only a figurative usage how the creation has started. So kamayata bhosyam prājñastadyacchejjñāna, when Taittiriyya says that the Brahman thought, let me become many, and the creation started. So that is only one answer for the theory of creation. So we should not take it literally that Brahman at some point of time, thousands of years before, Brahman thought and he desired that let me become many, and so that the creation started. No, it is only one way of explanation how the creation started. How much ever we say I am the Brahman and Brahman alone exist, we say all right, that's fine, but what about this world? Because which I'm experiencing it now. Okay, the world is made up of five elements: space, water, fire, earth, and whatever, the Panchabhutas. All right, then how did it come? Who created it? All these questions come. Further, they say, Sokamayata Bosyam Prajayat. Let the Brahman thought, let me become many, and it came. So it is one of the theory given for the theory of creation, that's all. But actually, if you see, I mean, the Upanishad doesn't accept the theory of creation. It only accepts the theory of manifestation. So from unmanifested state to, it comes to manifested state. From manifested state, again it goes back to unmanifested state. So that is what called Srushti Stuti Pralaya. Because science tells very clearly, no energy can be created nor destroyed. If so, then how can you say that there is a fresh creation? So the creation, the God created the world out of nothing. The Bible says, or Christ teachings, that has not been, I mean, science cannot, in front of science, it cannot stay away. So the Vedanta tells, oh, that is from unmanifested state, it got into manifested state. From manifested state, again it goes back to unmanifested state. That is what you call a laya, pralaya. And from unmanifested state, again it appears, it manifests. That is what called Srushti. The best example for you is sleep. In sleep, what happens? In sleep for you, the world exists or not, at least for you, the world doesn't exist. So at given point of time, while you are sleeping, the world has been subsided. Your mind has been subsided. Your thoughts are being subsided. It doesn't mean that you don't have mind. It doesn't mean that you don't have thoughts. It doesn't mean that you don't have problems. All of them are just they have been silent. So it has gone to unmanifested state or potential form. The moment you get up, all your stress, strain, thoughts, all these things will come back. They were waiting for you and they will come back. Means what? They got manifested. So this is what we say.
Maybe some more nididhasana is required for me.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thanks for the